Hello, it's Aaliyah from the Song of the Winds. I hope you're doing really well. Today I've got something quite exciting for you. This was a very rare out-of-print deck that I picked up from one of my local witchy stores a couple of months back now, and I haven't had an opportunity to unbox it until today, and it's been just doing my head in. I really wanted to open it up and have a look. It's been out of print since about 1991. That's when it was released, and it looked as if there was only one edition of this deck, and it was actually printed locally, virtually across the road from a house I used to live in, which is just, yeah, really insane. The synchronicity there is quite interesting. So before I sat down to film this today, I did a bit of research on the deck and tried to find out a little bit more about its history. At best, I found a listing on Eclectic. There's a small write-up, really just a few sentences, and one blog post. So that's about the majority of the information I can find out. It's prohibitively expensive on Amazon. There's someone selling a deck there. So yeah, I was so fortunate to pick this up. And I even went so far as to look up the National Library of Australia, because they keep a record of every book that's been published in the country. And it looked as if in 1993 there was actually a workbook that was printed to accompany the deck, and I can't find that anywhere. But if you did happen to stumble across it one day, I'd be more than happy to take it off your hands. I know that I always say I'm really excited to open up a deck, but this one is quite special for me. On my mother's side, we have got Aboriginal blood in our family, and Mum's a member, but I'm not actually officially a member yet. But we're from the Quandamooka Yullabarabi mobs. But the author of this deck, in the instructional guide, I haven't actually opened it yet, but I did read someone else's summarization. But this deck was inspired by the absolute other side of Australia, from WA in Western Australia in the Kimberley region. And the author is an English person, and he says that back in the 1960s he was exploring some cave art in the Kimberley region, and a local tribesman came up to him and decided to initiate him into their tribe, which doesn't sound an awful lot like something that is likely to happen, but I wasn't there, and that's just what he said, so there you go. I'm just passing on that information. But what do you say we open it up and have a look through? I think it's quite a different deck from your standard tarot. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce most of these names because I don't think I could do it properly, and I don't want to be disrespectful. As far as the condition of the box goes, it's virtually perfect. There's a couple of small little dings down the bottom, but it's really not a problem at all. Yeah, it's in fabulous condition. Okay, let's do it. Yay! You know, just for a split second after I got it, I thought to myself, oh, should I hold on to it? It is mint, it is out of print. And then I was like, I don't collect for resale value. I don't collect for any of those sorts of reasons. I collect because I really enjoy tarot, and I like using them. So no, I was never going to actually keep it as it is. I'm just not that kind of person. Okay. How do we open you, friend? Here we go. Yep, there's your first ding in the box. Thanks, Aaliyah. Still more in there. Good. Oh, look at that booklet. Oh, and the paper is really thin. This is like definitely early 90s paper. So there's a lot of information here in this booklet, and from what I understand, it's pretty much invaluable. You would never want to throw out this little white book, because the deck pretty much just can't be used on its own without this this basis to learn, just because it is quite different from what you would be used to. Look at all the different associations. It's amazing. I love how it's set out. Look at the font. Hierophant. Knowledge of evil. Magic weapon of the Empress. A belt of human hair. Wow. This is really interesting. Yowie death, yes. Yes, I've heard about Yowies. Magical weapon is the quartz crystal. Look, there's astrological correspondences as well. Fascinating. Tower, key, near perfection. It's an interesting way to describe it. Perfume, goanna blood. Whoa, this is so interesting. Could you imagine if I'd left this in the box? What a shame. I could never leave this in the box. So the suits have been changed to suit local names. And the court cards go Maiden, Hunter, Earth Mother, Tribal Elder. Look at that. There's astrological correspondences for the miners as well. That's so interesting. Coolamon. Oh, that's really sad. That's become a brand of cheap cask wine. Coolamon. That's, yeah, Coolamon is a brand of cheap wine here. Not cool. Gorgeous. Yeah, wow. So with the information at the start, because there is just a lot of text there and it's difficult for me to actually show you, clearly, what I might do is just summarize it down in the description box. Otherwise, you can pause this if you'd like to read it verbatim. Isn't that unexpected? A signed collector's edition. What? Signed in February 1991. That's amazing. And you can even see there's some, is that ink marks at the bottom? Where something is transferred through. They must have been signing a lot of them and it's sort of smudged. That's excellent. Oh, I love the card backs. That's beautiful. Okay, this calls for a full flip through. These crystals here are mookaite. They're a type of jasper that is found only in the Kimberley region of Western Australia. It's considered a Mother Earth stone by our First People, so it felt really appropriate to have this in our space as we look through these cards. Cool is that deck? The colours are so rich. It is definitely very Australian the way that it looks. Like the colours are just like our landscape. So I'm going to go through and just summarise this book. The information in here about how the creator came to be initiated by one of the tribes in the Kimberley region in WA in the 1960s, and also what the particular dots mean on some of the minor arcana, because the size of the dot does indicate, it's kind of like Roman numerals but in a dot system, so I'll explain how that all works as well, and any of the other interesting things that I find in this book. But if you're after anything in particular that you're curious about that I don't cover in that information in the description box below, please let me know. Just leave a comment. I'll be happy to look that up for you. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd absolutely love you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Monday is my usual upload day, but on weeks where I've got a little bit more free time, I do tend to upload more frequently, so you don't want to miss that. Be sure to check out my social media accounts and sign up for my email newsletter if you haven't already. I do send out regular offers and special discounts for my store. Until next time, have a lovely week. Bye!